Space in my head is left for you to come right in. Pray to my God for you, for nothing but for you to stay safe and sound, sinking never to be found. My words flood this land until it should stop. The second night from closing shut, face to face, with winds that blew me off my feet. Those hands are leaving, sweat below the eyes, can't hold the memory of what's behind, so I turn I could sleep alone until your thoughts say you wanna get inside. With the wall, if you're strong enough to fight.
Hello and welcome. I'm DDF Racer, if you hadn't already guessed by the name of this channel and the graphics all over the screen. And today I'm going to be doing some practice laps at Silverstone in the Aston Martin GT3 car. Now, why this car track combination? Well, I'll tell you why. It is going to be my very first official online sim racing event this weekend. I'm taking part in the VLMC, the Virtual Le Mans Championship, which is the feeder series to the VEC, the Virtual Endurance Championship, the premier online sim racing community for rFactor 2 as far as endurance racing is concerned. Now, I want to do a good job. That's no understatement. I really want to do a good job. I want to do my team proud. Zansho Simsport is the name of the team, by the way. The guy you heard in the SRC races I've previously live streamed. Ed Trevelyan Johnson, he brought me into the team. He hired me, for want of a better word. And I'm going to be racing alongside, well, if you've seen this channel before, a familiar name called Max Eru. Now, that guy's name is Bryce. Pretty fast guy. He also does all of the artwork for Zansho Simsport. If you haven't, go and check out his channel on YouTube. Just search for Max Eru, E-R-U. Top stuff. Go and have a look at that. Anyway, we're here to do some practice laps at Silverstone to get familiar with the track and get familiar with the car. So let's go and do that. So let's switch ourselves over. Now you can see on the screen there I've got some nice graphics. I've redone the stream as well, by the way. All new graphics, all new everything. I've transferred everything over to Streamlabs OBS, as opposed to OBS Studio, which I was using previously. Now I did do a stream earlier in the week, a little test stream. There were a few technical difficulties with that, so hopefully today we're not going to have as many of those. If you are there in the chat, please feel free to say hi. Make sure that I can see that on the screen. It's much for testing the setup as it is for testing the car. So yeah, say hi, don't be shy, have a chat. I'll do my best to read the messages while I'm driving, and yeah, just get involved, guys. Get involved. Anyway, let us go to rFactor 2, and if we're going to pause the music for a second, we better get in the car and get driving. Okay, so here we are. Now, there is no graceful way of doing this. Got to shuffle along in the chair and put the VR headset on. There we go. Center the view, and let's get our overlay fine in the screen as well so we can actually see where we're going.
Locking enabled.
Okay, here we are in the Aston Martin GT3 car. Let's put the controller down now that I can see where I'm actually looking. And let's go and do some laps. Got a full tank of fuel. And I'm just really basically just finding out how the tyre wear is going to go over the course of the stint. Need to see how the tyres wear down. See how the fuel wears down. Basically just get a handle on the car. So no racing today, just practice in both the car and the stream. If you are watching, thank you very much for joining. It's great to have you here. It's currently 5:30 PM, well 5:40 PM nearly, local time in Brisbane. Which makes it about, ooh, would that be 8:30 back in the UK? So any Australians out there, hope you had a good day at work. If you do the usual 9 to 5. If you haven't, I hope you have a good night shift. If it's your day off, enjoy your day off. And if you don't work, well, it's great to have you too. I hope you find a job. Anyway, done quite a few laps here so far before. This isn't my first practice session here in this car at Silverstone. So I'm relatively familiar with the car, but the race at the weekend, it's going to be a couple of hours. So in that kind of situation, you really want to know how your car's going to behave. You want to know exactly how it's going to react, and you want to know exactly what it's capable of as well. So I mean, so far on a full tank of fuel and fresh tyres, I'm doing about 2 minute 1 seconds, 2 minute mid 1 seconds, which is kind of near the top of the leaderboard, but nowhere near the fastest guys. And when we take the fuel out, do low fuel and fresh tyres, do a simulated qualifying run, almost pushing 1 minute 57. A 1:58 low is a pretty good time, and I can kind of rattle those off consistently, but a 1:57 is pushing it. So the purpose of today's stream is just to kind of see if we can solidify those 2 minute ones on high fuel, and maybe do a little bit of low fuel running later in the stint. I'm going to be online for about an hour and a half today. so that should give us a good amount of time to tank the car and maybe do a full stint on high fuel, of which I will be here doing my best to read the chat, of course, and say hi to all you guys. So if you are there, say hi. I'll do my best to respond. But yeah, this is probably the most important lap of the stint, because if you cook the tyres, they're kind of going to stick with you for the rest of the stint, and you're really going to wear them out. It kind of sets your tyre up for the rest of the stint. The tyres here in rFactor 2, you kind of get 2 or 3 good laps out of them before the pace drops off. And once the pace drops off, you can never really get that speed back again. It'll be consistent, but you're never going to get that ultimate pace. And also, of course, at the start of the stint, that is the start of the race. So it's where most of the positions are gained and lost. But it's not going to be where you win the race. So you also need to try and be quite conservative when you're going wheel to wheel with everybody else. Although, to be honest, I'm not sure if I'm actually going to be starting the race yet. Me and Bryce haven't worked out the running order, because this is a 2-hour race we're going to be doing at the weekend. We're going to need to do a driver change at some point. Full tank of fuel, you can get just about an hour with fuel saving, so we should only need to pit the once. The tyres will be fine, but we're going to have to do a driver change.
Lap time was 2:01.66.
Straight out the box into the mid 201s, perfect. You can be really heavy on the brakes in these cars as well. Likes a lot of trail braking. And with the ABS, you can kind of just mash the brakes, which is all well and good if you're braking in a straight line, but as soon as you're braking in a corner, you kind of have to trail the brakes quite a lot. Otherwise, it doesn't want to turn.
Sector 1 time's okay.
This corner particularly is terrible for it, because obviously you're braking and slowing down, turning and downshifting all at the same time. If you're too heavy on the brakes, you've just got no energy left in the tyres to actually get the car turned, so a delicate balance. But there's a lot of straight line braking zones on this track, which is kind of convenient. But like I said earlier as well, you can get just about an hour's worth out of a full tank here with fuel saving. Now, if you are familiar with this Aston Martin GT3 car, you'll know that the revs can actually go a lot higher than this. I'm being very gentle on the upshifts. The rule of thumb is you shift before these blue lights come up on the dashboard.
Sector 2 time is okay. Your front brakes are pretty hot now.
You've got to make sure you shift before the blue lights on the dashboard. I mean, you can shift later than that, but you're going to use a lot more fuel because you're running the engine at higher revs. And the target fuel usage is about 3.6 litres a lap. If you do that, you can get about an hour out of the tank. It's slidey out of club corner there. Although we are up on our personal best lap so far, although it's only the second lap of the stint.
You've just done a 2:00.8 seconds. That's your quickest lap in this session. Sectors 1 and 2 are fast. Sector 3 is 0.05 off your best.
2 minutes.
Ignore the aero damage, it's nothing.
Is really not bad at all for full tank and new tyres. My aim during the race, as well as my teammate Bryce's aim during the race, is to be able to do 1 minute 59s on a fresh set of tyres. Oh, that's going to take a little bit of practice. Oh, hey JT, how you doing, mate? Good to see you. Welcome back to the channel. How you going, man? Big slide on the rear then. Coming out of Luffield. I'm tempted to run a lot more traction control on this car than I currently am. Of course, this car does come with ABS and traction control. I'm absolutely maxing out the ABS, but the traction control is it's only on the very lowest of settings. Because with the traction control, that does actually use more fuel as well. Now I could turn the traction control up and use more revs, and probably go a lot faster, or at least be a little bit more consistent than I can at the moment. But yeah, traction control uses more fuel. I need to try and stay away from that. So the car can get a little bit slidey, which you can probably see through the driving. Might be so easy on the throttle, especially after about 10 or so laps. It's very easy to wear out the rear tyres, and the front left takes a lot of punishment around here as well. But you can make it through to the hour mark quite easily on one set of tyres.
That lap was at 2:01.11. You're currently 0.29 slower than your best. Sector 1 is 0.29 off your best.
It's
Sector
a good
2
lap.
time is good. Sector 3 is a tenth off your best.
Very low 2-minute ones. That's a very good lap actually, considering the tyres are now coming up to 5 laps old. But yeah, welcome to the stream if you are watching. Great to have you here, guys. Running some practice laps here at Silverstone in the Aston Martin GT3 car in anticipation of the pre-season VLMC race this weekend, the Virtual Le Mans Championship. My very first online rFactor 2 event, or very first online official event. Obviously I've done the Sim Racing Academy previously on this channel, and they were official events as well, but this counts for something now. This is an actual championship with actual competitors over the course of the next year. I will be doing one race every month at the end of the month for Zansho Simsport. It feels very official, if I'm being honest with you. I've been hired by an actual racing team, a Simsports racing team. Although, to be honest, I think Ed's always had his eye on me.
Sector 2 is 0.8 off your best.
So yeah, this lap isn't going too well so far. But then again, I'm not really giving it 100% concentration. I'm doing the whole commentary and racing thing at the same time. But getting a good feel for the car. Finding out where the tyres are. Finding out where the brakes are. Seeing how the fuel's coming down. Just getting used to the car, really. I'm the only person on the server at the moment, which is actually probably how I prefer it. Got a nice empty track just to lock some
Last
clean
lap was
laps.
at 2:02.00. You're now 1.2 off your best. Sector 3 is 0.16 slower than your best.
But it does feel absolutely fantastic to be back on the channel again. Streaming, broadcasting, recording videos, and just doing my sim racing. Absolutely love my sim racing. And it's been a little bit busy in real life recently. Haven't really had the opportunity to sign on and do that much, unfortunately.
Sector 1 is 0.39 off your best.
But you know how it gets with real life sometimes. We've all got jobs, we've all got bills to pay, we've all got holidays to go on as well. So you know, unless you're a professional sim racer, which only the massive channels can really do, you know, your Jimmy Broadbents, they can make a living off it, and they do a lot of other stuff as opposed to just sim racing as well, like your commentary and your events and your hosting, that kind of thing. If you can get to that position, you can make a living off YouTube. But for someone like myself, still in the very early days of it, in the very small stages, yeah, I gotta do my day job and I gotta pay the bills. So it feels so good to be able to get back on the rig and just log some laps. Feels
Sector
great.
2 is 0.6 off your best.
It's great to have you all here as well. Thanks for tuning in. Got so many ideas for the channel as well. Taking a step back from it for a while, you just get creative and you start to think of things that you can do. You think, oh, I could do a video about this, I could do a video about that. So over the course of the next few weeks, Hopefully I can get some more time.
202.07. That puts you 1.2 off your best.
Hopefully I can get some more time to do the whole YouTube thing.
0.39, slower than your best. Sector 2 is 0.6 off your best. Sector 3 is 0.2 off your best.
I know exactly what I'm going to be doing. Really want to try out the new Aston Martin GT3 car, as opposed to this, which is the GT3 car. And I've yet to try the Senna, the McLaren Senna. Oh no, that's a cut track.
Dan, come on man, watch them track limits. This lap won't count.
Lack of concentration there. I was too busy thinking about the new McLaren Senna, as the rear of the car gets all kinds of sideways there as well. Yeah, this is what I mentioned before. The rear of the car gets a little bit slippy, as you can probably see from the overlay on the screen as well. The tyre temperature indicators in the bottom left, which have actually been reworked. You should now be able to see the temperatures a lot more easily than before. So for those of you who are, you know, watching for the data, watching the telemetry, seeing how the car's performing, you can now see that as well. But the overlays in general, they've had a little bit of a tweak. Everything's moved around, the graphics have been redone. Hopefully for the better. I mean, I'm pretty happy with the way the design's going. But I have migrated from OBS Studio to Streamlabs OBS, which, let me tell you, hasn't been an exactly smooth transition. I had a few technical difficulties I've had to work my head around, but I think it should be good now. Which is another reason for doing this test stream. Just to make sure everything's working nice before the main event at the weekend. So yep, a test of myself and the car. Now you might be asking, well, hey Dan, when does this race actually take place? It's on Saturday, this weekend, and it's 4 PM
Sector 1 is 0.6
Central European summertime. That's where the servers are based, in Central Europe. So to translate, that's midnight for me here in Australia, or 3 PM on Saturday afternoon in the UK. Not quite sure how that converts to America. The time zones are a little bit sketchy, but yeah. For UTC or GMT, Universal Time, it's 2 PM on Saturday afternoon. So that's when the race starts. Qualifying is half an hour before that. So I'll be... practice is actually an hour before that as well. So I will be streaming from about 1 PM UTC on Saturday. So if you're around, it'd be great to see you there. Gonna give it my best shot in the pre-season race for the VLMC, the Virtual Le Mans Championship. Looking forward to the race, actually. Looking forward to the race quite a lot. It's at Silverstone, which is the same track that I raced in the SRC Academy at about a month or so ago. It's going to be a 2-hour race. I'm going to be sharing the car with my teammate at Zansho.
That lap was a 202.59. You're currently 1.8. Slower than your best. All 3 sectors are 0.6.
Hey Michael, how are you, mate? How you doing? Good to see you back on the stream. Hope you're doing okay. Just logging some laps here at Silverstone in anticipation of this weekend's race. I'm not sure if you caught that before in the video. Saturday night, I'm doing another event. So this is the Aston Martin GT3 car. Thankfully it's not the Porsche that I was racing last time at the SRC. That car was a little bit of a handful. The race is going to take place on midnight Australian time, Saturday night. 4 PM Central European Summertime. It's where the servers are based. If you can make it, it would be great to have you there. 2-hour race. 2-hour endurance race. I'm not sure if I'm going to be starting the race yet. There will be a driver swap involved. Going to be between me and my teammate Bryce. Yeah, I'm not sure how it's going to work schedule-wise. Whether I do the first stint and jump in at the pit stop halfway through, or whether he's going to do the first stint, or whether I'm going to do the first stint. I'm not quite sure. We haven't worked that out between us. But it looks like we've got a decent pace. The leaderboard. Most of the Zansho cars, most of my team's cars are kinda near the top. Although I haven't checked it for a few days, and maybe the faster guys are starting to do their practice now.
2.90. That puts you 2.1 seconds off your best. Sector 3 is 0.49 off your best.
I can see my lap times have started to drop off a little bit now, as the tyres are starting to wear down. It's coming on to my 10th lap. Back in the 2-minute 2s, which is not great. I really want to be in the low 2-minute 1s. I'm really not concentrating that much at the moment. Just having a good time, just enjoying being back here on stream. Yeah, the rear of the car is starting to get a little bit slidey now. I really want to turn the traction control up, but I need to keep to a specific fuel number. Otherwise I won't make it to the pit stop in the race. I need to get used to driving with low traction control and shifting at lower revs. I just know I can go so much faster than this. And driving to a number, it's definitely a new kind of driving style for me. And hey, it's what you have to do in endurance racing if you want to make it to the end. You can go out there and be super fast. You can string together a heap of qualifying laps. But you're going to run out of fuel 2 or 3 laps earlier than everyone else. And over the course of the race, you're going to have to make an extra pit stop, which is going to cost you so much time and undo all of the good work from being faster, basically. So yeah, currently running 2-minute 2s. I need to be better than this. I need to be in the 2-minute 1s for sure. 2-minute flats would be great. So I'm going to be quiet for this lap. I'm really going to get the concentration on, so I'll catch you guys in a couple of minutes. I'll really try and nail a good lap and see what the car's got.
2.50. You're now 2.7 off your best. Sector 1 is a second off your own best. Sector 2 is 1.2 seconds off your best. Sector 3 is 0.6, slower than your best.
Pretty sloppy through that corner there. Not great. Lost 8/10 already.
Sector 1 is 0.9, slower than your best.
Massive amounts of understeer through Luffield. It's not any good at all. Front left starting to wear down as well now. Yeah, the rear's getting loose. It's still manageable though. It's still drivable. This needs to be a 2-minute 1. 2-minute 2s are not great. 2-minute 3s are just absolutely unacceptable. That's going to send me straight to the back of the race. But hey, that's what practice is for. Thank you so much for joining, by the way, if you're here in the chat, if you're watching the stream. Great to have you. Let me know how it looks. You are my guinea pigs today, so any issues with the frame rate?
That was a 202.82. You're now 2.0 off your best. Sector 1
Any
is
issues with the
0.9
sound?
off your
Any
best.
issues with the
Sector 2
overlays?
is 0.7
Any problems
off
at
your
all, just
best.
let me know,
Sector
because
3 is 0.41.
obviously I
Lower than
can't
your
see that
best.
while I'm driving. I need you guys to let me know if it's not working and I'll get that fixed for the future. Unfortunately, I can't pay you a wage to do that. You're just going to have to accept the warm feeling of helping a friend out.
Sector 1 is 0.7, slower than your best.
Yeah, this car is proving quite difficult to drive at the moment. Maybe there's not as much rubber down on the track as what I'm used to, but it's very slippy. And I'm actually using more fuel than before as well. I'm up to 3.7 litres a lap now, which is not good. I need to be hitting 3.6. Which means I'm using more throttle than before, probably because I'm sliding the car more. I'm making more corrections. So, it's kind of a vicious circle, you know?
Your front brakes are getting a bit hot. You're a second off your best in Sector 2. Your left front has a bit of wear.
Kind of a vicious circle. Because the tyres start to go off and you start to lose grip, so you kind of overdrive the car. Which heats the tyres up and uses more fuel. But actually makes you go slower in the process as well, so you're constantly trying to improve, trying to balance the car. You just have to drive well within the limits of these GT3 cars in rFactor 2, I've noticed. You can't really push them that hard.
Your lap time was at 203.28. That puts you 2.5 seconds off your best. Sector 1 is 0.7 off your best. Sector 2 is a second off your best. Sector 3 is 0.8, slower than your best.
Yeah, 203s are not good. Really need to start concentrating and just putting some good laps in. But just the pace isn't there. Just the grip isn't there in the car.
Sector 1 is 0.6 off your best.
Just gently does it. Oh, so gentle on the throttle. Although that last lap was a 3.62 litre lap. So that's more like it, that's more in the range that I'm after. So I think I might stick with this stint for a while then. I'm on lap 13 of the stint, the tyres are going okay.
Sector 2 is 0.8 off your best. Your left side tyres are carrying minor wear.
Yeah, I think I'll stick with this stint until we either make a mistake or it's just undrivable. So I'll see the tank out. Got about maybe 35 minutes left on the fuel. We'll keep going with that and we'll take some fuel out. And we'll come in and do a qualifying run or 2, or 3, or 4, or however long it takes me to get the target lap time without ending the stream frustrated.
Your lap time was 202.75. You're currently 1.9 seconds off your best. Sector 1 is 0.6, slower than your best. Sector 2 is 0.8 off your best. Sector 3 is 0.5, slower than your best.
So it's not really a particular sector of the track that I'm losing time on, say like the first sector in the hairpins. It's just generally across the whole lap, the grip's just not there. Which is very frustrating. It feels like I could do a lot better than this.
Sector 1 is 0.7 off your best.
Missed the apex completely there, which pushes us wide again. So hesitant to get on the power. Just do not want to swing the rear tyres around and put too much energy into them and just yeah, wear them out faster than they need to be worn out. But at the same time I do want to, because I just need to get the car turned and get on with the lap. Just waiting and waiting and waiting to put the power down. And obviously as a racer I just want to go fast. But you got to think about the long stint. You got to think about the long game. There's absolutely no point killing your tyres and burning all your fuel.
Sector 2 is 0.9 off your best.
Okay. Yeah, I can't wait to try out the Aston Martin GT3 car in rFactor 2. Also the Senna, the new McLaren Senna. Those cars look insanely good. Both of which are actually being used in the VEC Championship this year, the Virtual Endurance Championship. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to being able to commentate on that as well, actually.
Your last lap time was at 2:02.92. You're currently 2.1 seconds off your best. Sector 1 is 0.7, slower than your best. Sector 2 is 0.9 off your best. Sector 3 is 0.6 off your best.
I can announce, well, it's not really an announcement, I guess, you probably already knew it, but I will be back commentating on the VEC this year. Not just in the capacity of the night shift Le Mans commentator, but I'll be doing some of the actual in-season races as well. Not the 4-hour races, but some of the 8 hours and 12 hours.
Sector 1 is
I'll be able to hop on at the end.
off your best.
Once it gets to about 6 AM, 7 AM local time for me here in Brisbane. It's more reasonable, shall we say. Whoa, big slide. But yeah, I'll be doing some VEC commentary this year, which I'm looking forward to. Great team of commentators, and Jimmy and the gang have just been working tirelessly on the broadcast. It looks incredible. Bit of a stutter there from rFactor 2. Not sure if that came through on stream, but that, just as we went through Cop's Corner, a bit of a graphical glitch. We'll just ignore that. That's just rFactor 2 being rFactor 2. But yeah, so many exciting things to look forward to. So many videos I want to record on this channel.
Sector 2 is 1.4, slower than your best.
If you guys have any suggestions for videos as well, feel free to head on over to Discord, join the conversation over there. Let me know your thoughts, let me know what you want to do. There's a link in the video description down below, so just follow that, say hi, have a chat, and just put some ideas forward. And even if you don't have any ideas, just pop on over and say hi. It'd be great to have you. And if you are enjoying the stream, don't forget to leave me a like, of course.
You've just done a 2:03.55. You're now 2.7 off your best. Sector 3 is 0.8, slower than your best.
And the easiest way to find out when I'm going live this weekend, press subscribe and press that notification bell. And YouTube will tell you directly. How good's that? You don't have to do anything. Well, apart from subscribe and get notified, of course. You don't have to remember anything, should I say. YouTube will tell you. Okay, lap 16.
Sector 1 is 0.7 off your best.
Waiting forever for the car to grip up on the front, and as soon as it does, it just swings round to the rear. Tyres are definitely starting to wear down now. We're about halfway through our stint. Be about a quarter of the way through the race now. Want to get nice and wide on the curb there. Don't want to go too wide. If you go all the way over the curb, you get a cut track and your lap disqualified.
Okay, Dan, you've got half your fuel left.
I think if you get 5 of those in the race, you get a penalty as well. So you really got to try and be consistent and neat in the VLMC in the series. You want to make sure that It's nice and tidy driving.
Sector 2 is 0.7 off your best.
Otherwise you'll just rack up the penalties. Alright, I'm just going to be quiet for a few laps now. I'm just going to get my head down, really get into the zone. Feel free to say hi in chat. I might not respond.
That lap time was 2:02.61. That puts you 1.8 off your best. Sectors 1 and 2 are 0.7, slower than your best. Sector 3 is 0.45, slower than your best. Sector 1 is 0.6 off your best. We've seen a bit of wear all round.
Oh. Bit of a problem in rFactor 2 then. Bit of a stutter. Not sure what's going on there. Hey Ed, how are you doing, mate? Good to see you. You joined at just the right time, it seems. Just in time for rFactor 2 to do rFactor 2 things. I did take out a bollard, but I don't think that's going to do any damage to the car, apart from damage the beautiful livery that my teammate Bryce painted. Hey Ultiman, how are you, mate? Good to see you. Wow, you're all starting to pour in now. Just logging some laps here at Silverstone in the Aston Martin GT3 car.
Sector 2 is 1.9 seconds off your best.
In anticipation of the VLMC race this weekend, the pre-season Silverstone 2-hour race event thing doesn't count for any points, but does count for pride, and obviously it's a good base to form the rest of the season. You know, set yourself up nicely for the rest of the year, of which I absolutely cannot wait to start just racing and streaming and getting involved and just being part of the whole online rFactor 2 community.
Sector 3 is 0.40 off your best.
Ah, missed that apex completely. You got the day off today, Ultiman. Well, you picked the right thing to do. Watching the stream, of course. Great to have you here, mate. I've had a full day of work myself today. It's currently 6:15 in the evening. So I've done the usual 8 till 5. Come home, got changed, got freshened up, jumped on stream. There's nothing better than going sim racing after a long day at work. And it's great to be able to share it with you guys as well, so thanks for coming along. What time is it where you are, mate? Are you just woken up? Rear of the car is definitely starting to get loose now. 10:15 AM. You must be Central European, right?
Sector 2 is 0.7 off your best.
You're on server time. Yeah, the track feels very green today. Not much grip out here. The lap times aren't too flattering, if I'm being honest with you. 202s and 203s? It's not what I'm after. I'm after 202s and 201s.
That lap was a 203.48. You're now 2.7 off your best. Sector 1 is a second off your best. Sector 2 is 0.7 off your best.
Let's try and
Sector 3
concentrate
is
and get a good lap in now.
Slower than your best.
He says as he runs wide straight away. Although this is lap 19 of the stint, to be fair. My tyres have definitely seen better days. Although I'm definitely matching my fuel number. 3.6 litres a lap. Of course I have to make it to the hour mark of the race on Saturday.
Sector 1 is 0.8 off your best.
There goes the bollard, and oh, and there goes the track. No, that doesn't go the track limits. Definitely thought I was running wide then. You should be training, mate. Well, I thank you very much for joining the stream. Although I will take no responsibility if you don't do well in the race. You can't blame that on me. You can't say, oh, I was watching DDF stream. It's not going to fly. Where is the VEC race? Is that Silverstone too? I think so. First race of the season. I've been so focused on the VLMC that I've actually lost track of what's going on with the VEC at the moment. Which class are you driving, mate? Are you in the new Senna? Or are you doing LMP2 or GTE? Whoa! Rear tyres are gone.
You've just done a 203.74. That puts you 2.9. Slower than your best. Sector 1 is
LMP2.
0.8 off your best. Sector 2 is 1.2 seconds. Slower than your best. You're a second off your best in Sector 3.
You're probably watching this right now thinking, oh jeez, this is so slow. To be honest, even I'm thinking that this is very slow. Even for the GT3s. It's really struggling to get the pace in the car today. Whether it's a combination of the track or just my bad driving.
Sector 1 is 0.8 off your best.
The car just doesn't have the grip I'm used to. I am a big fan of the LMP2 though. I've recorded a few videos on this channel in the Orica. Really fun car to drive. It's so good that Studio 397 have got the Senna as well. Just to add that kind of LMP1 equivalent back into the mix as well from a few seasons back. It's kind of strange having the LMP3s and the GTEs running in the same race, just with there not being too much of a pace difference between them. Whereas now you've got three classes with three very distinct paces. I think it's really going to make the races a lot more interesting. Not that they weren't interesting to begin with, of course.
Sector 2 is 1.2 seconds off your best.
But the VEC really looks like it's going to be great this year. So many good drivers, and the guys in the back end of it as well, Jimmy and the team, they've really put a lot of time into developing the broadcast, and oh, I can't wait to see what the finished product is like. But the few sneaky peeks I've had so far, it's looking good, guys. The whole broadcast is going to be on it's just going to be on another level, even compared to last year.
203.59. That puts you 2.8 seconds off your best. Sector 1 is 0.8 off your best. Sector 2 is 1.2, slower than your best. Sector 3 is 0.7, slower than your best.
So as you can hear from Mr. Spotter there, there's just no pace. It's everywhere though. It's not one specific sector, it's the whole track really. Just slow. Although the tyres are now 21 laps old.
Sector 1 is 0.6 off your best.
Take a bit of curb there. Really kill the speed in the car. Oh, I just want to turn that traction control up so much. Well, I have to keep it at low settings, otherwise it's just going to eat through the fuel. Yeah, I'd definitely say that my brain's feeling burnt out as well, Ultiman. I've already spent most of my mental energy, which is going to make the race at the weekend pretty interesting, considering it starts at midnight for me over here in Australia. Maybe I'll have to have an afternoon nap. Although I have...
Sector 2 is 0.9 off your best.
I've been absolutely hammering the Vietnamese coffee recently, guys. After the holiday in Vietnam, there's just... became a bit of an obsession. Brought back about 5 or 6 kilos in the luggage. If you haven't actually tried Vietnamese coffee, I thoroughly recommend it. If you are a coffee fan, it's just so tasty. And it's very strong as well. Very strong. So I might have to do myself a double.
That lap was a 2:03.04. You're now 2.2 off your best. Sector 1 is 0.6, slower than your best. Sector 2 is 0.9 off your best. Sector 3 is 0.8 off your best.
I'm definitely going to be doing myself a double Vietnamese coffee on Saturday night. Of course, with the race being a 2-hour race, starting at midnight, goes to 2 AM. And depending on where I am in the stint, if I start the stint, then it's not too bad. But if I'm going to be jumping in second at the hour mark,
Sector 1 is 0.8, slower than your best.
that's going to be 1 AM, and that's going to be pretty tiring. And hopefully my teammate's driving doesn't put me to sleep. Hey, Bryce. Yeah, car is feeling horrible now. Lap 22. Although this is what practice is about, just getting used to how the car handles. And of course in the race as well, there'll be 40 odd other cars going around at the same time. There'll be more rubber on the track, there'll be more grip. I can kind of relate this back to my days being a sound engineer and
Sector 2 is
playing in bands back in
your
Manchester.
best.
You know, you go in, you do your sound check at the start of the night. There's nobody there, just you and the sound engineer, you and the band. And it sounds awful. And do you know what the sound engineer tells you? He says, trust me. Once people fill up the room, the acoustics will be so much better. Human beings are great at absorbing sound. And fair enough. You spend the 3 hours before the gig worrying about how the band's going to sound.
2.4 off your best.
Doors open. People roll in. Everyone gets a drink. Band goes on stage. And it sounds amazing. You know what the sound engineer does? He just winks at you. Told you so. Told you it'd sound good. And I think that's what's going on now. It's a very green track. With no rubber. No confidence. It's feeling a little bit tired. And the lap times aren't
Sector
great.
1 is 0.9, slower than your best.
Come race day, when everyone's in the zone, and you got rubber on the track, it's gonna be fine. Not if you have that much understeer though. No amount of rubber on the track is gonna help that understeer. Yeah, I used to live in the UK, Ultiman. I moved to Australia 3.5 years, maybe nearly 4 years ago now. January 2016. But before then, I wasn't really into the whole online sim racing community thing. I hadn't even uploaded and recorded my first ever YouTube video. I hadn't even bought my VR headset. That's how long ago we're talking.
Sector 2 is 0.9 off your best.
And as much as I absolutely love living in Australia, it's just a fantastic place. Every now and then I do think, oh, it would be convenient if I was back in the UK for sim racing. Oh, what's Ed saying in chat? He must have some tips for me. The team manager / janitor popping in. Let's see what he's saying. On the straight, of course. Rubber looks better.
That was 203.32. You're currently 2.5 seconds slower than your best.
Should be
Sectors
braking
1
a
and
bit
2 are
harder.
0.9 off your best.
Okay.
Sector 3 is 0.6 off your best.
I'll try braking a bit harder. Another thing about these long stints as well is you kind of get into a rhythm, and the first few laps of the stint really kind of set you up for the rest. Excuse me. Kind of set you up for the rest of the stint. So if you have a pretty average start to the stint and you settle into that rhythm, well, you kind of get stuck. You know, when you get stuck behind someone in traffic and you just kind of do their pace, it kind of becomes the norm. And you have to try and find a way of mentally resetting yourself and just going for it. I think that's what's happened here. I think I've kind of settled into this slow pace and, oh well, I live here now. That kind of mentality. Which is not great. And I know I could drive a lot better than this, he says as he almost loses the rear of the car. Jeez, this is terrible. I know I could drive a lot better than this.
Sector 2 is 1.2 seconds slower than your best.
Now I've got about 6 or 7 laps of fuel left. So what I might do, I might be quiet for a lap or two. And just concentrate. Just try and get some solid laps in now the fuel's starting to come down again. So here goes. VLMC races are generally 2 hours long, with the Le Mans being either 4 or 6 at the end of the season. Can't remember, I think it's 4.
2.6 seconds off your best. Sector 1 is 0.8 off your best. Sector 2 is 1.2, slower than your best. Sector 3 is 0.6 off your best.
But yeah, the majority of the in-season races, if not all of them, 2 hours. Which isn't too bad. 2-car teams. And generally I'm thinking if there's low participation or someone can't make it, it's not
Sector 1 is 0.44 off your best.
It's not entirely unreasonable to expect to be able to do the entire race by oneself. 2 hours ain't too bad. Just a double stint really. You guys do that in the VEC all the time. Definitely starting to feel some vibrations through the tyres now though. I think that's a combination of the sliding and just the low grip. Definitely coming to the end of their life. Oh, they're looking at the Delta. This is definitely our best lap for a while.
Sector 2 is 0.7 off your best.
A long while actually. This is a good lap. And normally that's my cue to throw it in the fence. I haven't done it, so this is going to be a really good lap. Although, every time I drive through this corner, I have flashbacks of taking out Daniel Christo from the SRC race. I have permission from the team manager to turn the traction control up. No hesitation whatsoever. Traction control's up to 3. I was running it on 1. Obviously the fuel numbers are good. And the apex there was terrible. Shonky at best. Okay. Let's see how this behaves with increased traction control now. It's all about that confidence and stability, really. And there's no point trying to drag around a car that you can't really trust if you're going to be saving 0.02 of a litre per lap on your fuel. It's not really worth it. So let's try this traction control. See how this goes. Nice late turn in there, floor it, and away we go. And immediately, yeah, there's just so much more confidence in the car. Feels great, actually. Feels really good. Just gives you that extra little buffer. You know, you can push the car, you can lean on it that little bit more.
You're second off your best in sector 2. The brake temperatures are fine.
We're now on lap 26 of this stint. It's getting very old on the tyres, but the fuel is starting to come down. Clonk the curb on the inside. Take lots of this. And away we go. So we were running in the 202s.
You've just done a 203.00. That puts you 2.2 seconds slower than your best.
And we're still running in, well, down in the 203s now, actually.
Off your best in sector 2. Sector 3 is 0.27 off your best.
It's a terrible lap. Absolutely terrible lap. Use 0.05 of a lap more fuel there.
Sector 1 is 0.48, slower than your best.
Which I don't think's the end of the world if we use that much more fuel per lap. Thank you so much to everyone who turned up, by the way. Thank you so much for watching the stream and for sticking through. I'm literally just driving around by myself on an empty track. Just logging practice laps, and I really appreciate you watching. If you're enjoying the stream, you know, I hate to sound all sellout, but don't forget to leave me a like. It really does help me out on the channel. And if you're not already subscribed, then please subscribe, because it's awesome and your support's amazing.
Sector 2 is
and you also get a notification when I'm going to be going live again in the future and uploading more videos. And if you're enjoying yourself, why wouldn't you want to know that? Eh? Also because it pops up a little notification of Daniel Ricciardo clapping on the bottom of the screen when anybody subscribes. There is also that. Okay, what kind of lap time is this?
Your lap time was at 202.23. You're now 1.4 seconds slower than your best.
That's
Sectors
a
1
lot
and 2
better.
are 0.48 off your best. Sector 3 is 0.38 slower than your best.
That was a lot better. Although 202.2, still not where I really want to be. It's not the ideal kind of pace.
Sector 1 is 0.6 off your best.
The car feels a lot more manageable. So tempting to use more revs as well, although that'll definitely start to use more fuel. Qualifying lap? Maybe 3.9 litres a lap really, whereas you want to get 3.6, 3.7 for the race. Way too much curb on the inside there. Started to make this Aston Martin GT3 go a little bit bouncy. Yeah, got about...
Sector 2 is 0.48 off your best.
3 laps left on this stint. And then we'll be coming into the pits. We'll be doing some low fuel. So I want to get some qualifying done. It's currently 6:30 PM local time here in Brisbane. I've actually had no dinner. Starting to get quite hungry. Gonna have to head off and get some food shortly.
You've just done a 202.48. You're currently 1.7 off your best. Sectors 1 and 3 are 0.6, slower than your best. Sector 2 is 0.48 off your best.
Yeah, good to have you here, Ed, mate. Thanks for being able to hop on and say hi. Always good to have you in the streams. Hope you're doing alright, mate. Hope you managed to get your audio problem fixed as well for that project you've been working on.
Sector 1 is 0.7, slower than your best.
Pizza and a glass of red, that does sound pretty good. I got Vietnamese rice paper rolls and a glass of whiskey. That's the plan for this evening. I'm not sure which is better though. Pizza and red does sound pretty good. Especially homemade wood-fired pizzas, Michael. I know you've mentioned that before. Very jealous of your backyard setup, mate.
Sector 2 is 0.8 off your best.
Yeah, Vietnamese rolls for dinner.
5 minutes of fuel remaining. 5 minutes.
I tell you guys, I'm obsessed, honestly. Vietnamese coffee, Vietnamese rolls, Vietnamese everything. You go there for 2 weeks and you come back brainwashed.
Your lap time was 202.65. You're currently 1.8 off your best.
Hey,
Sector 1 is
Jim Pappers,
0.7
thank you
off your
very much
best.
for the
Sector
subscribe,
2 is
mate.
0.8, slower than your best. Sector 3 is 0.36.
You just triggered my favourite notification. Great to have you here. Thank you for subscribing to the channel, mate. I hope you're enjoying the stream. And I hope to see you again many times in the future. Great to have you here, mate.
Sector 1 is 0.8, slower than your best.
Ah, Bryce is having problems with the rear as well, Ed, yeah? And for those of you who are not familiar, Bryce is my teammate. Oh, too wide, got a cut track then.
Oh, damn, you've cut the track. They'll delete the lap.
I might come into the pits on this lap, actually.
Okay, pit stop requested.
Actually, no, change your mind, I'm going to run the tank empty.
Okay, pit request cancelled.
See how far I can get. Because this lap is definitely a write-off with the cut track, and I'm not going to record a time. And my delta tells me I'm about 1.7 down as well at the moment. Oh, of course, yeah, I forgot that I was recording telemetry yet. Excellent. This will be going straight over to Nick. He can analyse this and see what's going on.
We're running on fumes, mate. Come into the pits at the end of this lap. Box this lap.
I don't think so, Mr. Spotter. This is going to be the last lap, because I've got about 4 litres left now.
Sector 1 is 0.5 off your best.
I don't think so, Ed. I don't think I'm going to pit, mate. I'm just going to let the car run out. Or should I practice a pit stop? What do you reckon? Practice pit stop or go for one last lap? Because this is lap 31 now, and I'm going to be going on to my 32nd lap, which is actually pretty good for this. I managed to eke out another one from before. Welcome back, Alderman. Good to see you again, mate. Okay.
Okay, pit stop requested.
Coming into the pits. I'm going to put 12 litres of fuel in. No, 8.
Pit crew is ready.
No, 12.
2 litres left.
And that'll be a couple of laps on soft tyres. New soft tyres. Down to 80k just before the pit line.
Meters.
Here we go, guys. Let's practice our pit stops. I think I got the
Box in.
the line just fine there.
4, 3, 2, 1. Box now.
Angle it out for a fast exit. And where is it? There we go. Want to switch the engine off to avoid overheating. Although I don't think this Aston Martin GT3 car is that susceptible to overheating. I was susceptible to it in the LMP3 at Interlagos though, mind. Where are we? 22 seconds. Start the engine. Pop it into neutral. Traction control down. And away we go. Traction control back up again. Let's get rid of our pit menu.
Limiter's still on. Disengage it.
And we now have just over 3 laps worth of fuel. And a fresh set of tyres. So, if we can save a bit of fuel on this lap, we can get 3 full flying laps on a set of soft tyres. Brand new soft tyres. Ah, thanks, Ed. Thanks, mate. Yeah, been doing a little bit of work on the overlays recently on this stream. I've made the transition from Streamlabs from... I'd say it every time. Come on, Dan. From OBS Studio to Streamlabs OBS. It's not been an easy transition. There's been a few technical difficulties, but I think I've got them all ironed out now. The stream is working, the random disconnects have been resolved, and everything looks a little bit nicer on screen as well. You know? All the overlays are in a nice new position. All the information is at the bottom of the screen. And all the racing is at the top, so it makes it nice and easy on your eyes. You don't have to look at one corner, look at another corner, look back at the other corner. And you can't see it right now, but I've also done a lot of work on the holding screens, be right back pages, all that kind of thing. Some nice artwork on that. And it just runs a lot smoother. And then we got 3.1 laps. Oh, I think I've not saved enough fuel on this lap. Don't think I've done it, you know. I'm looking at the top. Yeah, it's at 3.1. I don't think I've got enough fuel for 3 flying laps now. Wasn't really paying attention. It's going to be close anyway. Alright. Low fuel. Brand new soft tyres. Let's go. Maximum concentration.
Minutes of fuel remaining.
See what kind of times we can get, guys. Thanks, Ed. Traction control's back down to 2, mate.
Sector 1 time is good.
Also, sorry Ultimate, I missed your question. I've actually run out of traction. I've actually run out of assignable buttons on my wheel, and so I don't have anything mapped to traction control override. I just remember to do it every time I come in the pits. Oh, I'm so used to driving the car on high fuel and bad tyres. It's taken a lap or two to get back into the swing of things here.
2 times quick.
Next lap I'll be able to push a lot more now I'm in the mindset of qualifying runs again. It's amazing how much more grip there is. And using the revs as well. To get used to using the revs on the engine. I can no longer have to save fuel and worry about shifting before the blue lights.
5 minutes of fuel remaining. 5 minutes.
So we're 1.8 seconds up already on our previous best on high fuel.
That lap time was 1:58.94. That's your best lap in the session. Sector 3 times okay.
Oh, we can do a lot better than that. We could do a lot better than that. Already quarter of a second up. Actually, I'm going to turn the delta off on my overlay. Less distractions. That was a terrible line through Luffield though. I know I've lost a heap of time there. I don't need to see the delta for that.
Just ignore it.
Absolutely stamp on the throttle through Cobb's Corner there.
Very little fuel left. Hit this lap, in this lap.
Oh, thanks Ed. I might have to try that setup in a while.
Sector 2 is 0.36 off your best.
I don't think I've got enough fuel left for another lap, unfortunately.
You've just done a 1:59.18. That puts you 0.24 off your best. Sector 3 is a 10th off your best.
Yep, I don't have enough for another lap. So, let me just make sure I don't having any incriminating evidence on the screen. Let me just go back to my holding screen. Oh, by the way, I'll show you this very quickly. How cool is this? Remote control, Streamlabs OBS, on the phone. Super useful. Okay, so we want... I want to try 3 laps. Nah, maybe 2. Maybe 2 laps, actually. So, let me just put in 12 litres. That should be enough. Let me check my wing settings. Everything's good. Okay, here we are. Let's go back to rFactor 2. Let's head back out onto track. I'm going to pop traction control up a little bit. Because on a quali one, it doesn't really matter about your fuel usage. Yeah, I'm really loving the mobile app for Streamlabs. It's just so convenient. I used to use... I can't remember the name of the program, but it was a third-party program that was a little bit glitchy with OBS Studio. But that's one of the reasons why I kind of switched over to one of the reasons I switched over to Streamlabs is because everything's integrated. I don't need a third-party app for my chat. I don't need a third-party app for all my notifications. I don't need to custom code all these different things to have a remote control outside of stream. And I can actually see chat within VR as well using the built-in overlay. It's just very, very convenient. And that's another reason for doing these streams today and the other day earlier in the week, just to make sure it all works. Because the last thing I want to be thinking about on Saturday is my setup going to glitch out? Am I going to have any technical problems? And I think it's safe to say all of those are behind me now. So, yay for that! And thank you very much everyone who's been helping out as well, being my guinea pigs on live chat and making sure that everything's working. Really appreciate your support, guys.
We estimate you've got 5 minutes of fuel remaining.
So much grip in this car. Alright, I'm going to be quiet now. Maximum concentration. Still using the old setup, Ed.
Sector 1 is quick.
I'll try that out in a minute. Just while I've still got a feel for this setup, that's all. So close to running it wide there and getting a cut track. I thought that was going to be lap over. Bit loose on the rear then, coming onto the hanger straight. Car still feels good though.
2 is 0.27, slower than your best.
Car still feels good. Nah, that didn't feel good. But that's why I've got another lap of fuel in. Now I'm back in the groove again after doing laps and laps and laps of hot full fuel.
Your lap time was 1:59.05. You're now 0.11 off your best. Sector 1 is quick. Sector 2 is 0.27, slower than your best. Sector 3 is 0.06 off your best. We're running on fumes, mate. Box this lap, please, Dan.
Oh, you finished.
Oh dear. Let me try that other setup. Apparently Ed has sent me something. Some top secret setup work. So let me just download this. C drive, program files, Steam, Steam apps, common, rFactor 2, user data, player, settings. Has anyone else ever wondered if you could get more folders involved, more subfolders involved when it comes to Steam and rFactor 2 in general? It's yeah. Anyway, hopefully this has worked. I've got a new setup to try. No. with regards to setups, do I have to leave the session and come back in for it to show up again? I'm still getting used to this whole rFactor 2 thing. It's not showing up in the screen. Is there a refresh button? No? I just copied it across to the folder, but it doesn't seem to want to come up for some reason. Let me try that again. Maybe I just select all instead of vehicle. Okay. No, it's not coming up. Oh, there it is. There it is. Alright, Aston GT3. Let's give this a go. Alright, let's give this a whirl, guys. This is a brand new setup, which I haven't actually driven yet. I haven't actually tried. I'm not exactly sure what it's about. But it's meant to be very fast. So hopefully we can go and beat our previous time. See how it compares. Well, it turns nice. I'm actually going to turn my delta back on for this one so I can see how we're going. So this is something else about the sim racing community which I absolutely love. People just pop up and say, oh hey, here's a setup for you to try that could make you 10 seconds faster. People actually going out of the way to help each other. And not only that, it's just you don't get that with the offline racing at all. You know, it's all about being the fastest driver possible, and there's so much time to be found in setups. Oh wow. Oh, there's a heap more grip. Through the high speed stuff. What kind of black magic is this? Yeah, I do like to think of the sim racing community as one big family. Not always a happy family mind, but definitely a family. Alright. Maximum concentration. Let's go.
2 minutes of fuel remaining. Very little fuel left. In this lap, box this lap.
Actually, I think I'm going to run out of fuel before I even get to the line. I am. I'm going to run out of fuel before I get to the line. I've got enough to complete the lap. That's awkward. Okay, let's put a bit more fuel in. Let's try that again. Sorry for the anti-climax on that. But when I crossed the line, I had like 3.2 litres. That was never going to do it. But that does actually help me out a little bit in getting used to the feel of the car. Use all of the revs. It's so hard when you've been driving around fuel saving for an hour. Every time you see the blue lights, you've conditioned yourself. Shift! Shift! To then holding the blue lights for 2 seconds, 3 seconds before you change up. It's just it's just rewiring the brain again. It's going to take a little bit of used to getting back on the low fuel, but I'm maybe going to do a couple more attempts and then probably call it a day, because it's now 7 PM Brisbane time and I'm very hungry. Very hungry. All I've had to eat today is a Cornish pasty, and that was about 10:30 AM. It may look like I'm sliding all over the place, and as much as I am, just trying to get a bit more heat into the tyres, force the car through the corner and then use the lock in the wheel to get a bit more temperature before we head onto our flying lap. You're never really going to kill the tyres after a couple of laps in rFactor 2, so it doesn't matter if you overheat them. Alright, here we go. Maximum concentration.
We're running on fumes, mate. Box this lap, please, Dan.
I can definitely get a lot more speed out of that. That was a horrible corner.
Sector 1 time is good.
Yeah, this ain't a great lap so far. Just missing a few apexes. Car feels great on the out lap, but I'm just not putting it together on the hot lap. That's going to be a cut track. No. It's not going to be a fast one.
Sector 2 is 0.47 off your best.
Terrible.
2 litres remaining.
Boy. Seven tenths down.
Your last lap time was at 1:59.68. That puts you 0.7 off your best. Sector 1 time's okay. Sector 2 is 0.47 off your best. Sector 3 is 0.27, slower than your best.
Let's go straight back out again. Let's give it another go. Yeah, it doesn't feel great. The setup really doesn't feel too good. Maybe it just needs a different driving style. But a 1 minute 59 on low fuel on new tyres, it's not great. It's not great at all. Traction control has been popped up to 5 now. Let's see how that works. I think I just need to calm it down a bit. I'm just getting a bit too excited about, oh, I've got a fast car again. Thank you very much for everybody who's tuned in, by the way. Great to have you here in the stream. If you're enjoying yourself, if you're enjoying the content, don't forget to leave a like, say hi in chat, and yeah, subscribe and press that notification bell to find out when I'm going to be going live and uploading more videos. Most notably, this weekend, 2 PM GMT, I'm going to be taking part in this 2-hour race at Silverstone in the Aston Martin GT3 car. The very same combination you can see on the screen right now. as part of the very first VLMC. Well, it's not the official race, it's a pre-season race, so it doesn't actually really count towards the championship, but hey, it's a serious event. I'm taking it seriously. Anyway, I'm going to be taking this lap very seriously as well, so again, time to get quiet and concentrate. Hot lap time.
Very little fuel left. Hit this lap, in this lap.
Rear feels a little bit loose going through the first corner. High speed corner entry isn't as stable as the previous setup.
Sector 1 is quick.
As demonstrated very perfectly again there. The rear just wants to step out on the entry. Maybe that's a brake bias thing. Actually saying that, the brake bias is pretty far forward. Maybe I need to move it a little bit more forwards just to try and counter that out. Using lower gears to try and get the car turned a bit easier. The car bogs down coming onto the hanger straight though. That's really going to kill the speed all the way down the straight.
Sector 2 is 0.05 off your best. 2 litres remaining.
Don't want to run wide and get a cut track. Got away with it. Okay, it's an improvement.
Your lap time was at 1:58.79. That's your quickest lap. Track limits, they'll invalidate this lap.
And that's how you stop quickly. Okay, one more attempt. One more attempt, guys. I'm going to pop the traction control up to 6, no, maybe 5 now. Knock the
Disengage limiter.
brake bias a little bit more forward again. It's going to be my last attempt at a hot lap. Now I'm getting used to this setup. Although I don't think I can get 8/10 in a single lap. That's going to be asking a little bit too much. In contrast to my previous attempt, I'm going to attempt to go all full. Well, I'm going to attempt to go full Jensen Button on this lap, and just be nice and smooth. Because I think maybe in the past I'm being a little bit too aggressive. I'm trying a little bit too hard. So I'm just going to roll it into the corners and let the speed come naturally by taking the path of least resistance. Very good pointers, Ed. Maybe after I've done this lap I'll do one more. I'll take a look at the setup and do one more. Well, I've been driving around for about an hour and a half now, Ultiman. There is a distinct possibility that might happen. Anyway, fast lap, let's go.
Okay, Dan, we're running on fumes, mate. Come into the pits at the end of this lap. Box this lap. Sector 1 time is good.
Nope, no cut track. Very surprising there. I thought I was going to run too wide. Too much on the inside. I'm not concentrating at all then. Oh.
2 litres remaining. Acknowledged. Pit stop requested.
Gonna come and do a practice pit stop instead. I bought that lap. Oh. I think I definitely sped on the way into the pits then. The race does last 2 hours, Ultimate, but I didn't go before I started the stream. I know, rookie mistake. Okay, let me hide that screen because I don't really want to be sharing that setup information with you. So, there we go. Let's have a look at this. Gonna add some fuel. Good shout, Ed. The rear wing is good. The anti-roll bar is detached at the rear already. And what was your other trick? It was to reduce the rear spring. Oh, that's going to be difficult because it's already at minimum. Okay. There's not really much I can do with the setup, to be honest with you. It kind of looks okay. Kind of looks okay. I think it's just a driving thing. I think it's just maybe I'm not at my best today. I think I do need a little bit more, bit of a fresher mind, shall we say? Anyway, back to rFactor 2 mode. The wing is already at 3, but you reckon go up another click? Okay, I'll give it a go.
Locking enable.
Let's give this a whirl. Let's give this a whirl. Now this definitely will be my last attempt now, because I can smell garlic. Which means that Claire's home from work. It means that dinner is not far away. Oi, bit wide there. I'm getting an error come up in my broadcast saying that YouTube is not receiving enough data. How's the stream for you guys? Any stutters kicking in? So that would explain why I'm going a little bit wide. Not only am I distracted by the smell of food, I'm also getting YouTube throwing up error messages on the in-game overlay. So this outlap's looking a bit messy, but trust me, my eyes have hardly been on the track. Okay, let's go. Let's give this a whirl. I'm going to go for 2 flying laps. Feel free to talk quietly amongst yourselves. I'll be back. Looking good chat in about 4 minutes time.
Sector 1 time's okay.
Feels good.
Sector 2 time is good.
Feels like a good lap. I've turned my delta off, so I don't know how it's going. Ah, too late. I know I could do that last section a lot better. We got another lap of fuel though.
That lap was at 158.88. You're now 0.09 off your best. Sector 1 time is good. Sector 2 time is okay. Sector 3 is a 10th off your best.
Nah.
Very little fuel left. In this lap, box this
No,
lap.
I don't like this setup. I really don't like this setup.
Log building finished.
Let me hide that briefly. And I'm going to go back to the other one because I don't like this setup. Just doesn't feel good. Just doesn't want to stick at the rear. So let's send it back. Okay.
Logging enabled.
Here we go. Ah! That would have been embarrassing. Going into the pit wall. Okay, I'm back on the old setup. I think this is where the time is to be found. So I feel like my driving is a little bit better now. I feel like the track's definitely starting to rubber in. And I'm very confident with the old setup. Thanks for sending it over, Ed. It was good to try. It's good to give it a go, and maybe I just need some more practice with it, but maybe not at the moment. If this lap now isn't immediately quicker, then it might be a little bit embarrassing. Okay. The stream is definitely coming to an end. I will be heading off very shortly to get some food, but not after completing 2 of the fastest laps around Silverstone you've ever seen in an Aston Martin GT3 car. Hopefully. Hopefully.
Okay, Dan, we estimate you've got 5 minutes of fuel remaining.
And then this is probably the last time you'll see me before the race. This is my last chance to practice. I'm not exactly sure what I've got for dinner. I thought I was having Vietnamese rice paper rolls, but I can smell a lot of garlic. Anyway, concentrate on the lap now.
We're running on fumes, mate. Come into the pits at the end of this lap. Box this lap.
Smells like garlic. Feeling good so far? Bit of a four-wheel slide through Cops Corner there. Keeping the speed up nicely though. Bit more sliding on the rear. That's definitely going to lose time.
Your sector 2 time is quick.
Feels good. Feels very good, but what kind of time have we got?
That lap time was 1:58.13. Good lap. That's your
Yes!
session. All through sectors are pretty quick.
Yes!
This lap's been invalidated. Watch those track limits.
1 minute 58.133. Ah, I could go for another lap, but I think that is as good as it's going to get today, and I'm very happy with that time. So close to the 1 minute 57s. That's probably the limit of my ability today at the moment. So I think that is a very convenient time to call it a day. Yes! Yes, yes, yes. That feels good. Okay. Bring it back to the pits.
Log building finished.
Let's take it back to the standings page. There we go. And you can see in the background there, Silverstone map, and my position in the standings, position 1 of 1. Yes, thank you, Ed. Thank you very much. I will remember to upload the telemetry file. Anyway, let's put some music on in the background. Let's wrap things up. Where are we? Nah, this one. Here we go. This will do nicely. There is a link to the playlist in the chat as well. No, sorry, not the chat, in the video description. So if you do like what you hear, then go and click that link to the playlist on SoundCloud. Let me just quit rFactor 2. And bring it back to webcam. Because obviously what you want to see right now is my sweaty face after nearly 2 hours of driving around Silverstone in an Oculus Rift. Of course that's what you all want to see. Anyway, quit that, exit that, and take the headset off. One sec, guys. Beautiful, I know. Yeah, that was fun. Feeling a lot more confident in the car now. I think my Oculus is starting to deteriorate a little bit. I need to get that fixed. Anyway, feeling confident in the car. Aston Martin GT3 at Silverstone. The race is this Saturday, midnight for me, 4 p.m. Central European summertime, 3 p.m. in the UK, and I'll put some links up on Discord. If you're not on Discord, go and join that. There's a link in the description as well. I'll make sure I put all the information on the race somewhere handy. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Promising, should be good. I'll stream the whole thing live. I'll stream the practice, the qualifying, the race, and yeah, looking forward to it. Giving it a good go, guys. But yeah, thank you very much for joining the stream today. It's been great to have you here. It's not been the most exciting stream, obviously, because there's not really much has happened. I've just been driving around in circles for the best part of 2 hours. But if you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like on the stream. This will be available after the fact. So once the stream finishes, you're able to watch this back. Unless you're watching it back now, in which case, thank you for clicking the video link and not joining me for the stream. If that's the case, press subscribe, press that notification bell, and you will get an alert when the race is being streamed and when I upload any future videos. But yeah, it's been great, it's been fun, it's good to be back, it's great to be back on the channel. Thank you so much for your support, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys again soon. Yeah, catch you around, guys. See you next time.